Hello, how's everyone doing today? Welcome to another vlog. My name is Sean, and I have been trying to record this for probably a week, and I've actually changed the idea several times, and it made me think of a question. What do you do when you're not inspired? So I wanted to talk about what actually inspires me and what I do when I'm not inspired and how I get that energy back. And a lot of it comes down to just making things anyway and just doing things anyway. I want to talk about a couple of my inspirations, and then I'm going to talk about kind of what I tend to do when I'm not inspired. Because I think that figuring out what your habits are when you're not inspired, what you do when you aren't inspired, I think knowing what you do is important because it'll help you identify when you need to be creating content, when you need to make things. And I'm not saying that you need to create content all the time or create photos, streams, videos, baking, singing, art, anything. I don't think you need to be doing any of those things all the time, but I do think that if you are a creator, you do need to be able to manage your creative inspiration, input and output. Some of my biggest inspirations are, in order, Burnie Burns, Peter McKinnon, Corridor Digital. Let's roll down the list. Burnie Burns. If you don't know who he is, he's the co-creator of Rooster Teeth, Red vs. Blue. I believe his title is creative director over Rooster Teeth right now, and he is touching a lot of different projects in a lot of different ways. He is someone I draw a lot of inspiration from. Burnie is incredibly relatable and incredibly funny all the time. And it's kind of a feat that he is incredibly relatable when you consider that he's a man who owns a massive media company, owns a Tesla currently, has been through a divorce and just recently got married, just had a kid at 45, and has had 2 kids that are in their teens. And the fact that me, a young 20-year-old, I'm not 20, I'm almost 30. I'm almost 30. Jesus. That set in real quick. But even better because Bernie's a little bit older and he's been creating content for 20 years and creating a company for 20 years. But the fact that I can relate to him and have been relating to Rooster Teeth since I was like 18 and I'm 28 now. Am I 28? How old am I? I'm 27. Don't get old. I'm 27. God, why is that so long? Why did that? The fact that Burnie Burns is a man who should be entirely unrelatable because he's wealthy, owns a company, and has a wealth of life experiences. The fact that he's relatable to me is a mystery, but also speaks incredibly to how he talks, his humor, his writing ability, and his whole creative process. He doesn't have to be the target demographic to relate to the target demographic of his videos. And I really enjoyed watching his vlog series when it was going on. Burnie has always been a huge creative force that has been in the back of my head whenever I'm creating anything. Speaking about the back of my head, you'll notice that there's a new addition to the set, as it were. Last time it wasn't really a set. It was like the camera and one light, and that was it. And now it's I'll put a photo up here or a video or something, but it's the camera, the light over there, a diffuser for it because I recently got a diffuser for photography and it works well for video too, and it gives these like nice, good light to my face. And then also this guy, which is an Aperture M9, little just tiny light goes on, tiny tripod. I learned this from a YouTube photographer called Peter McKinnon, who I've referred to on the vlog several times. Peter is an amazing human being, just comes off with such energy. Like, he attacks the camera with positivity and authority and just a wealth of knowledge of photography. So in this time where I've been very uninspired, a lot of what I've been doing is actually watching photography tutorials because that's something I do when I get in the habit of not creating content, is I'm like, well, I'll just prepare for the next thing I make, and hopefully along the way I'll find something that inspires me. Peter McKinnon is where I learned about that light from, and also where I've learned a bunch of photography things from. He's amazing. I highly suggest you check out his content. He is a photographer that is also a vlogger, so he brings a big cinematography focus to his content, and I think it's a great way, if you're into anything visual, to kind of understand what a professional photographer is looking at in a setup, any setup, because everything goes into it, from lighting to placement to what's in the frame, what's not in the frame is super important. Very interesting guy, very cool, and I definitely go to his channel every time that I am looking for stuff to film, or looking on how to improve my setup, or looking on what new gear to get, or any of that stuff. Lastly, I want to talk about Corridor Digital. Corridor Digital is another amazing YouTube channel that kind of started around the same time as Rooster Teeth, I believe, maybe a little bit later. They also do this weird light in the shot thing in all of their videos, and I didn't notice until I binged watched a lot of their videos over the last like 2 weeks. But they have, I think it's Nexus? No, Luxy. Luxy? I think it's Luxy. Luxy lights that they have, just kind of chilling on set. Little LED panel lights that you can change the color on. I can't change the color of that, but a Luxy light is also like multiple hundreds of dollars, so there's a reason that I'm using the lights that I have. If you don't know who Corridor Digital is, Corridor Digital are. If you don't know who Corridor Digital... That's hard to say. If you don't know who Corridor Digital are, Sam and Nico, two directors who moved to LA, and they're a visual effects company that does YouTube content, and they've kind of grown over the years to do things like Battlefield Rush, a movie called Lifeline, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds short film, all kinds of cool stuff. And they do these really complicated visual effects and really neat compositing things that are super technical, and then they produce that on a YouTube budget and get it up on a YouTube schedule. And then they have a second channel called Corridor Crew that explains the whole process of how they made the larger videos. And it's insane. The process that these guys go through is grueling and amazing. It's super inspiring to see like 6 guys, 8 guys work on one whole channel, and then all the other like I assume sub things that they're working on for clients. And they're still making YouTube videos, and then they're making a vlog channel that uploads every other day. Like, it's insane. The workload that they put out is incredible, and it's awesome, and it's really neat to see that. It's inspiring because it brings a team mindset to vlogging. Like, I'm just a dude, and I'm the only one filming these, but it's cool to think about what could be done if there was a team of people doing these things. And it kind of like also makes me think about like, okay, what can I do fast and efficient and in a Corridor Digital way where they're doing these high-end things on a low-end budget? Like, what can I do there? I'm hoping I can bring some cool stuff to the channel that approximates stuff that they do. Their stuff is like way out of my realm of skill level right now, but it might not be if I have time to research and learn a lot of visual effects. We'll see. I want to bring some cool stuff to the channel. So those are the actual like people that inspire me. You got Burnie Burns, Peter McKinnon, and Corridor Digital, and the Corridor Crew channel, I guess. I'm going to have all their links in the description below. They're amazing, amazing YouTube channels. I think you should definitely follow them. And now I'm going to talk about kind of what I end up doing when I'm not making content. Pretty obviously, I get new equipment, and I obsess over setups, and I try to learn. I think that's a pretty standard practice. I think when you're not doing the thing that you want to be doing, you're not doing the thing that you're loving, you're still loving it. So you're still devoting time to it, but it's not in a creation sense. It is in a preparation sense that can become obsessive. I've definitely learned more about lighting setups in the last like 4 days than I think I've ever wanted to know about lighting in my entire life. That's not entirely true. I wanted to know all this stuff. It's just, it was crammed into a very tight window. And I'm probably gonna have to go back and relearn a bunch of stuff. But I learned that like light diffusion is a huge thing. I learned that like stepping a light away from a subject is almost as powerful, or if not more powerful than turning down a brightness setting. But I've learned all this stuff because I've just kind of been spinning my wheels, and I've just kind of been not making things as much and telling myself I'm constantly preparing, which is not great. I wouldn't recommend it. I think you should designate some time for that, but what I'm trying to do is build a schedule of things that just have to get done. And like, I had to get in that mindset of when a video needs to go out, a video just needs to go out. It doesn't matter what kind of process it takes to make that video. Something just has to happen. Yeah, and that's where I am right now, and that's why I'm making this video. And I actually also started streaming again this week. I streamed on Tuesday, I think it was, and I'm hoping to do more of that. Streaming is super awesome, and there's a link down to my channel in the description below. The last thing I want to talk about, if you are in the Norfolk area and you want to learn about live streaming, if you want to either procrastinate your own building process with learning, or you generally just want to learn about video editing and live streaming as the art forms that they are, I'm going to be doing a talk next Friday with Marketers Anonymous. I believe the date is August 16th, right around noon. And I will be speaking on live streaming. I'm going to be speaking with Matt Trigar from Flagship Visuals here in Norfolk. And he's going to be talking about video marketing and creative design of those videos. I am super excited for this talk. I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot from Matt. I hope to teach the audience something about how Twitch can impact small businesses and local businesses, and how maybe charities and 501c3s can team up with things like Twitch to increase the good that they do in their local area. If you're interested in that, there's a link in the description below. There should be a graphic on the screen at some point showing you Matt and myself. And I am super excited for that event. The first one I went to, I think, was in February. I went to meet Zach Miller there and read the book Anomaly, another huge inspiration that I didn't even get to in this video. If you need more information on that, you can always DM me. My social media links are all in the description. You can also leave a comment asking, and I will respond to that with the event details. In the meantime, I hope that you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day wherever you're at. If you're going through a creative struggle, know that it doesn't last forever, and sooner or later you will push through it. You never really quit, you just kind of go on break. All right, guys? All right, have a good one. I'll see you in the next video. Hat.